Alrighty guys, we're obviously working on the forks of this TTR110. Thought it'd be cool just to do it without any talking. But then I pretty much had to talk. Need to get this dust seal out of here. Like that. And then we got a clip in here that holds in the actual fork seal. So I brought over a small straight screwdriver to dig under there. Grab him, pull him out. And then you might be wondering how in the world are we getting that sweetheart out of there? Well, we're just going to come in there and go boop and pop him out. That's essentially what we're going to do. We're going to try it down here, but we may end up having to go back over to the fork clamp there and do it. Now the trick to this is get the seal out of here, but don't damage the aluminum surface of the fork leg. Kind of like that. That went pretty well. At least I think it did. All right, we're going to stand this one on end so he can finish draining. Right over there like that. Then, the only thing that's left in here is our stop. We've been over the forks like this before, but we'll go over them again because I just want to cover it again, I guess. But that is the fork disassembled. Now I'm going to take these over to the parts washer and clean them up, and then we'll be right back. All right, we got these run through the parts washer, and the rest of this we're going to use some contact cleaner and clean up. So I'm just going to spray these down a little bit, and on the inside to get the last of the goo out of there. And we can see that's pretty clean in there. Pretty stinking clean, actually. Yep, that'll do. Turn him upside down to dry again. I can get him to sit there. Then we'll spray this down as well. And I'll spray down his inside as well. Kind of like that. We'll try to set him up so he can dry too. Prop him up against the shelf there. I just want to spray this stuff down real quick. Our top out spring. Bottom out cone. Washer. Another washer. Bolt. There we go. And let's go ahead and give this a spritz. There's that. And our damping rod. You could really call it that. It doesn't do much damping. It's more of a rod than a damping rod, but that's still what it is. Holds the fork together mostly. All right, we're pretty much ready to go back together with this. This has some junk on it up here, and I'm not sure what the heck it is. It's not coming off very well, I know that. Let's give it a roll in the contact cleaner and wipe it down. Yeah, it's coming off. And make sure there's no big dents or dings on them right where the seals run. On these, the seals run from about here to here. There's just not a whole lot of room on them. What, 4 inches of travel maybe? And these feel pretty good. And I am not going to put these in a set of V-blocks and run down them that way. So that's essentially what we got. We are ready to reinstall. Let me grab some seals. I think these are the right ones. All balls, baby. That's right. Have to find a place to stick that. I would say there's a 70% chance these are the right seals. You know how aftermarket stuff goes. Okie doke. Let's put our fork seal in first. We need this big washer. Sits in there. That holds that right inside of there. Right there. Let me get you focused a little bit. Inside of here is a fork bushing. And he keeps the fork from rubbing on the aluminum. So it's got a job to do. That washer just holds it in place, and the seal holds the washer in place. So the seal does a lot more than you think it does. These are the seals. I want to make sure the writing goes away from the oil. Let's see if we can do this real quick. Make sure the writing goes away from the oil. This side goes towards the oil. See outside there's a lip and there's a spring in there? That makes the oil stay in, and this side goes to the outside. It has a little lip just for dust protection. But that's writing to the outside, away from the oil. It's a pretty good rule of thumb. Let me find something to drive that in there, and we're commencing to do a little beating on this thing. Not hard though, just a little bit. It just doesn't take a lot of force. Yeah, we're almost there. I do believe that'll do. Put our snap ring in. Make sure it goes in the groove all the way around, like that. It is. This is the dust seal, and it's going to go on, but we're going to put it on later. Alrighty, now then, to assemble our inner tube. All right, we need this thingy right here. We need the spring that goes on it, because that's a top-out spring. Then we're going to slide it all in here and let it come out the bottom. Then we're going to set this on here. This is our bottom-out cone. I'm going to run that in so it don't fall off. Then we're going to slide this into here, just like that, all the way down. Then I'm going to take our bolt that was in the bottom of it. No, we don't have a new crush washer. Yes, it'll be okay. I'm going to put a spring in just to hold that down while I start the bolt. I can start the bolt much easier. Put him in, and then we're going to see if we can go ahead and tighten him down too. I am sure there's a torque spec on this. And if you don't know what tie it is, please get the torque spec. I'm going to tell you, that's good. Pull our spring back out. Ta-dum, there it is. It goes in here. And this is not a progressively on spring, so we're just going to stick him in there. Then the washer goes in on top of the spring, like that. See the washer in there? And then our spacer goes in, like so. And now we're going to put this back in the fork vise. I'm going to do this by fork height with the spring out. Not how you're supposed to do it, but that's how it's going to be. Bleed that lower fork out. Get all the air bubbles coming up. That's pretty much it. And let's see what we got. Let's slide our spring in place. I guess I will do it with the spring in because that'd be more accurate. And I'm going to guess that's not going to be enough yet. Let me get something long and poke down there so we can actually get an idea. This should be long enough if we got enough fork oil. Nope, not yet. Don't think that changed much because there wasn't much in there. Alrighty, so we're there to there. Let's see how far that is real quick. From there to our fork oil level right now is about 130 millimeters. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what it looks like when it comes up. Nope, that is too much oil. Yep, it's too much. We got to go down. What I'm looking at is how high is the fork level whenever it's completely pushed together. When the forks are bottomed, what does it look like? And let me set this back in here. We'll wipe off our measuring stick again and check it. Forks collapsed. Fork oil level is right there. What I'm shooting for is about 100 to 120 millimeters, and the fork is collapsed. And we're right on it. We're 110 millimeters, so that'll work. Put our washer back in, spacer, put our fork cap on the right way, and we're going to poke it down and put our snap ring in. And that is one fork pretty much done, just like that. There we are. Got to put a fork seal or a dust guard on. Let's do that real quick. Then I got to go eat supper. Tell you what, we'll just do it right here. Grab our new one. Slide him down here. I'm going to take my soft-faced hammer, and I'm tapping in this direction, catching the edge of this seal and not hitting the actual fork leg any more than I have to. Now this is a pretty soft-faced hammer, so it's not going to do any harm. But folks, use the right tools for the right job. Or use the tool that works good. Whichever one you want. That is one fork seal, or one fork completely rebuilt. Now, if you'd have done this different, put it down in the comments. Let me know if you'd done it different. How much oil would you have put in it? I don't know how much I put in. I know I've got 110 millimeters when the fork's completely collapsed with the spring in it. And that's going to serve well. This thing's going to get ridden more by adults than it does kids. So I don't mind the fork oil being just a touch higher than it would have been stock. It's going to keep it from bottoming quite so bad. So go down in the comments. Let me know. Hit the subscribe button and the like button. That's an important one. Appreciate it. We'll do the other fork here in just a minute. All right, let's get going on fork number 2. We just want to pop that off just in case it's not going to. Then we'll continue on doing everything pretty much like we did the last one. Looks like this one got a little bit of moisture in it. Probably from power washing. Yep. Looks kind of ooky. Well, I turned it upside down and nothing is coming out yet. Now we'll go back to taking our bolt out. Now when this bolt comes out, the bottom of this thing, or the inner tube, will just fall out. So I want to grab a hold of it and hang on to it so it doesn't hit the floor. Excuse me. Yeah, this one pretty much had no oil in it. So that's something. Not something good, but something nonetheless. This one will take just a twidge of cleaning, that's for sure. Hoo-ah. Oh, look at that. A nice row of dirt all around there. Just perfect. See if we can get some of that out without dropping all of it down inside the fork tube. Got to clean it out one way or the other, but still. This doesn't seem like a very good idea. Alrighty, see if we can get this one to pop out as easily. Not sure it's going to. I'm going to go this way, so I'm working with my vise instead of against it. Yep, it's coming. There it is. That washer's rusted in there. There it is. Yow. And I'll show you what evil lurks down inside this fork tube. Yeah, can you see down there? Yeah, that's pretty oogie. And this is our spring. Let me shine a little light on this. There's our spring and spacer. She's kind of crusty and rusty. Yep. Well, nothing to do now but start cleaning it all up. I'll bring you. All right, we got the thing cleaned up pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and start reassembly. First thing goes in, whoop, I didn't clean up my washer yet. Alrighty, first our washer goes in. It's pretty discolored, but it's pretty clean nonetheless. Then our, whoa, I almost dropped it. Our fork seal, he goes in next. And we'll use our fork seal driver here. Looks like that's far enough. Give our circle clip a wipe down here. Set that sweetheart in there. Make sure it's in all the way around. It is. Start our bolt in the bottom. Make sure everything's lined up. Feels good. Next in is our spring. Now we want to set our fork oil level like we did last time. We're going to do the same thing. Going to set it same level. Oh, we got to tighten our bolt at the bottom. We're going to make a mess here. All right, now go ahead and put more fork oil in. Get our homebrew fork oil checker here. And we want to see about 110 cc's of oil. Right now at 112. Let's add just a splash. Back in. That's probably enough. Check it again. Go ahead and get our measurement device set up here. Alrighty, and our fork oil level now is about 110, so that's going to be good. And that's collapsed with the spring in. For everybody on the internet splitting hairs, I have no idea what the correct level is. I just know from years of doing this, that's going to work. That's pretty much what I know. Give it a tap to keep it in place. Soft face hammer, hitting nice and gentle. That's what you need. Put our spacer in. Cap. Snap ring. And our special fork compression tool, also known as a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Make sure that's seated all the way around. That it is. Poof, one nasty fork done. I thought the other one was going to be the bad one. This one turns out to be the way worser one than the bad one. All right, let's mount them back up. For our next thing, this thing has a flat front tire. And from what I understand, it's been flat for quite some time. So tell you what, let me get some lube made up and then we'll tackle this baby. We're gonna put a little lube down in here. Pretty much all the way around. Then we're just going to pop this tire off. My hands and arms are probably going to be in the way most of the time, but I think you'll get enough of this, you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. More or less just spooning this tire off. Then we'll see if there's any tube left in it at all. There's a whole bunch of it wadded up there. Stubborn she was. Notice our tube's out and our valve stem's still in. Yep. She no longer has a valve stemage. There she is. Valve stemmy. Ripped clean out of the tube. Most likely that's why it went flat, but let's just do a little investigation here to make sure. There we go. Just wanted to take a quick look inside the tire. Get some junk out of there. See if there's any other issues on this. I doubt there is. All right, let's put this bead back on. There's that side. Now we got a brand spanking new tube to go in this sweetheart. This is a Sedona tube, a 225 TIF 250-14. It's appropriate for our size. And if you want to know the part number, let me show you here real quick. This is an 87-0126 from Donnell's Motorcycles in Independence, Missouri. That's where I buy almost all my motorcycle stuff. I'm gonna hook one of my tire irons under the edge like that, and then I'm gonna take the other one, and I'm gonna use my rounded end, and listen, you hear that? That's the tire iron hitting metal. That's how you know the tube isn't underneath it. You gotta use all your senses, guys, whenever you're doing this stuff. All right, there's the precipice of this, and now then, one more bite. Make sure you're on the metal, not on the tube, and we're done. With that, we're going to put some air in it with the core out. We're going to let all the air come back out. And what this is doing is it's straightening up the tube inside the tire. If you can imagine, this tube's laying all whichever way in here. Whenever we put air in it, it goes shoop and straightens out. And we'll let the air back down so it has a chance to relax in place. And now we'll pump it up, and we won't have so many folds in our tubes where it'll lock a hole in it. It'll rub itself a hole in it. So, important step. Now, I am going to run the nut up against the cap. This may seem counterintuitive to a lot of people and not make it tight against the wheel. What this will do is if somebody's riding this thing and the tube starts moving, that valve stem is going to move over like this. And that'll let them know, hey, Jack, you need to stop and straighten that out before it tears the valve stem out of the tube. Alrighty, our last order of business on this is to replace the chain and sprockets and the rear tire. Not sure what kind of shape the wheel's in, but we're not going to get too excited about that. Let's go for the sprocket first. Got a feeling there's going to be some junk packed in here. Maybe not, who knows? Not too bad. A little bit up there, but that's it. Oh, look at that. Snapper and pliers worked. Here we go. Well, if you like crooked teeth, that's not too bad a sprocket. Today is July 5th, 2022, and I tell you what, the town I live in, it absolutely went nuts for the last 2 nights with fireworks. The third being on Sunday, a lot of people did them then, and then last night, my goodness. We went over to my son's neighborhood. He lives across town from me, and gotta tell you, they were getting it on over there too. This is our brake stay arm. It makes the brake stay in place. Let's just zippy zap him off there. There we go. Get that down out of the way. Oh goodness, that's stuck. I guess I should have kind of expected that. There, wheels off. All right, this is our sprocket. It actually has a hub it sets on, and it has nuts down in there. So we'll knock these locking tabs back out of the way and get the bolts out of there to whip out our sprocket real quick. Okay, we're back. I want this over here, so I'm going to put you about there. Okay, we just need to knock our locking tabs down. Because you can bet your sweet tweeters we are reusing these. That ought to do it. But we'll take our socket. Sit here. Knock those tabs down next to the bolt. All right, pull those out. That's a pretty nice one too, isn't it? Look at that. So you got the leans. Look at our nuts, make sure they're all in there right, and they are. There we go, one sprocket replaced. Ta-dum. Same story as the front one. Put air in it, let it down. Then we'll put some more air in it after we put the valve core in. We want to make sure all the air comes back out. All right, this being adult ridden, we want to put closer to 20 pounds in this rear tire than 15. Right now we have about 33, so let's let some back out. We're shooting for 20. Doop. That looks like 20 to me. Put our master link back in. All right, our opening is to the back, so as this thing runs, it can't be picked off. And I like that. Probably okay. Where is my 10? It's right here. So hold our 12 and tighten our 10. Lock those together. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Check 1, check 2. I think we're doing okay there. Alrighty. That's done. Our axle's tightened up. Sprockets are on. Rear tire's on. She's a meaty little thing. And our front tire is done. Man, I'll tell you what. We are done with this thing. Yep, this will be probably the last video in the TTR110 Yamaha. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We got everything done we needed to do. We'll get this thing back to whoever owns it. And make sure you go down in the section below us and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. Tell me what you'd have done different. Chain slack good? I guarantee you to a lot of people it's not. Torque specs, you know, it's a little dirt bike that gets the crap run out of it. Not super concerned, but if you are, I got a feel for what tight is. If you don't, make sure you use torque specs. Go down and tell me all about it in the comment section. And make the kickstand so it actually works. Huh? Look at that. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. God bless.